Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch.
Hello, and welcome to BGP. Let's just dive into this really quickly. There is a couple right now that's out there that's been all over social media, and lately they've been referencing them as the new Ike and Tina. The new Ike and Tina, none other than Miss Chrisean Rock and Blueface, baby. So I just wanted to dive into that because this really seems like just a big old train wreck. And it's sad to me because I'm looking at this young girl who just seems to be, you can tell she's had some childhood trauma. Maybe even Blueface has when I know a little bit about his background. But let me just share with you about Chrisean Rock. We'll go with ladies first, okay? She's 11th of 12 siblings. Grew up in a home that was full of abuse. Mother is an addict. Still an addict to this day. Her brother, at some point, I think when she was around maybe 8 or 9, put her into track, and she did really well in track and got a scholarship to, I think it was Santa Monica College, and was doing extremely well. But on one of the interviews I seen not too long ago, she had said that she always wanted to be like an actress and things of that nature. So she really, although she liked track and she was doing extremely well in it, that was really not the direction she wanted to go. And of course, she ended up meeting Blueface. Now, just a little bit of background about Blueface, also known as Jonathan Porter, also was doing well in sports. He was an athlete. He was playing football. Matter of fact, I think he was the quarterback of his high school team, and got a scholarship also, was doing extremely well. And then decided he wanted to be a rapper. I don't know about the best rapper, but nonetheless, he decided he wanted to be a rapper. And if it wasn't for, and this is just my opinion, I don't want to talk about maybe this is just the new age rap of today, but it's really mumbled. You can't hardly make out what they're saying. I'm like, what? But if it wasn't for Tatiana and I think Cardi B's feature on that particular record, we probably wouldn't even be hearing about Blueface. But nonetheless, they both seem to be making it really big right now is in their show. I think it's called, what is the name of that show? Crazy in Love. And it's on Zeus, the Zeus network. And to me, when you see somebody just spiraling out of control, at one point, take away the money, take away all of the other stuff, do you reach out and say, okay, and I know she's grown, I know she's an adult, but on every interview, she's drinking her Douce and, following it with some Red Bull. She's out of control. And nobody seems to be trying to do an intervention or trying to help her. And I want to ask you ladies, what are your thoughts? Do you think she's an adult, she'll figure it out? Or do you think people are really just trying to go viral with her story, and they really don't care about the outcome?
I think there are some people that care, but before anybody can intervene or try to help, she got to help herself.
True.
And I recall seeing, like, at some point in time, I think it was like the middle of last year, her parents did try to kind of like help. They tried to grab her when her and Blueface was out there or whatnot, and she did not want to go with the parents. Right. She wanted to stay with Blueface. So if you have some people in her ear trying to say, sis, go this way. You don't need to go down this path. This path not looking right for you. And she's like, I'm staying with him. It's only so much you could tell an adult, without them making their own decisions. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Even if they were to cut off some of the show, I mean, like at one point, does it seem like you were catering or promoting the abuse? Because she's the perpetrator. What you think, Mona?
I never thought I would see domestic violence for pay.
And that's exactly what it
at
is.
the expense of them. They should not have a show. They should not be promoting that. I think that we have become so desensitized to violence that, you know, we have people that's cheering them on.
Yeah. And she always seems to be the perpetrator. Like just recently, she busted him in the back of the head with a Hennessy bottle. And they show on the show her picking out the glass out of the back of his head, you know, and when you think about how she grew up, like she shared on one of the interviews, it was so sad because she started crying. She was talking about how her father would line them up outside and beat on them. And she saw her mother get beat all the time. And these are the things I constantly say, that we have to be cautious and be aware of what we're exposing our kids to, because they end up, those are their coping skills. They learned this and this is how it seems normal to them. So, you know, they have had, clearly she's an alcoholic. She has a drinking problem. And now they got a baby in the picture. And I know Mona just recently posted the picture where she went to, was it a school or something? What was the story on that?
I guess she went to a school to speak, but her attire was inappropriate. Exactly. She had her stomach out, her pants was unzipped. You could see the bottom of her boobs.
Yeah.
Had I been the principal of that school, she would have had to change, or we would have to reschedule her. What's dangerous to me about this whole situation and how it's been aired on TV is that we know we have couples in those same situations
every day.
And now it's looking like, since it's getting likes and views, and that's normal until something tragic happens.
And what it does, it seems like it makes it where people who are really in those situations, like you said, it desensitizes. It makes it where it's like, well, we laughing at it on social media. We clowning because she takes off and she beats up Blueface's mama and Blueface's sister. We laugh and we think it's a joke. And here she is now bringing a baby in the world. It's like, when does the generational curse stop? So do you think she is ready for motherhood?
I don't think anybody's ready for motherhood. But
true.
In regards to her, I don't. I mean, because according to some media outlets, she's still drinking while pregnant.
Yeah.
On camera.
Yeah.
It's no secret. Like she's still taking shots of like the strong
real
alcohol. Like it's like she's not pregnant. And then I remember at one point in time, Blueface was like, I hope it's not mine. I hope you have an abortion. I don't have kids with women that, you know, that are like you. You nasty, you this. So it's like, from a woman's perspective, do I think she should have a child? No, I don't think she's mentally ready. I really don't. I feel for that child that's coming into this world. But it's on, again, that onus is on her. Like she, at some point, has to get to a place in her life where she has to say, I want better. Because now it's not even about me. It's about this unborn child. So, yeah. That's
well, she said she had multiple abortions.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Really, they should not be having sex at all. When you think about the child and she is still drinking, we don't know what type of drugs they're using on the side. If that child comes out an addict, that child can be taken away from her.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't have gotten pregnant by a man that accuses me of sleeping around. They both need to go to rehabilitation.
Yeah.
In-house. For some months.
Anyway. In-house. Yes.
In-house. Stipulations of not being able to see each other. At least a 90-day program.
Right.
Drugs and therapy. Because both of them are dysfunctional.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yes. She couldn't be dysfunctional if he wasn't dysfunctional.
Right.
And he did have a great background. And somewhere down the line, he went down the wrong road. And he's just as crazy as her. Did y'all see the part where the house was filthy?
Oh, that
and clothes were everywhere.
That's
laundry
what he was talking
room.
about her because she was supposed to clean up. He said,
"Yeah, but his stuff was in there too."
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Both of y'all's nasty.
Yeah. What do you think about how his mom is handling the situation?
I mean, I think that's horrible too. Like that whole family is Yeah,
toxic.
I'm gonna have to agree. Like that whole family is toxic and dysfunctional on both sides. And the sad part is both of them have this thing for clout. So they'll jump into it too, just so they can get a little bit of attention too. Like I've seen the mom be on certain, media outlets giving interviews about her child. I seen
talking about
her
dude's penis is
Oh,
bigger
compared
than
to her
just gonna
son's.
bring
Like,
that up.
Just it's
sickening
dysfunctional
stuff.
and it's. There are some moms that really be in love with their sons, and the way she presents herself is like she's in love with her son. If you comparing your husband's penis to your son's penis, that's a problem. The fact that she keeps going after this girl in public and whatnot, also a problem. Fact that she wants to fight this man's woman, that was a problem. But also on the other end of that, she shouldn't be fighting that man's mom. Like that's at some point you got to know when to just cut it.
Yeah.
Like I don't fight over men. I don't fight men's mothers. I'm not trying to do all that shit. Like if it has to be to that point, I'm cutting it. I can't do the dysfunction. But I think on both sides of their family, they got a whole lot of dysfunction, trauma, and drama that they're addicted to that they need to work on. If it was me, I agree. Therapy, drugs, and alcohol rehabilitation, and no social media. For a year.
At least.
For
At
a
least.
year.
Yes.
No social media. And I bet you they would be different people. Just my thought.
Yeah. Because he always makes it very clear that he's still going to be with his baby mama. He's got these children that the only time I've never even seen very much interaction with him and the kids. It's always his mom and the kids, or the baby mama. They show her quite a bit with the kids. But how are you guys going to take care of this new baby that's coming in with all the mess that y'all got going on? Y'all going to have her on your OnlyFans show? I think the mom is about to start an OnlyFans show too.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's just constant dysfunction. I know there was a time, I think she was on Jenny Jones long time ago, the mom, and I know all of us want some stardom at some point, but at what cost, And I think she's done well in trying to build her son's build him up and everything, but at the same time, it just seems like she could be doing a little bit more. I don't know. That's just my thought. But also, they have a sex tape out. I don't know if you guys had seen that, but I was trying to figure out.
I'm not interested in seeing that.
I'm trying to see
how she was able to compare what her husband's penis looked like to his when. Last time you probably should have seen it was when he was a baby.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I'm like, how you got that to
have
compare?
No idea what size my son's penis is.
Thank you.
And nor do I care. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
It seems just like inappropriate. So, with all that being said, what do you think would be the best, because we consider, we want to promote sisterhood. We want to promote this thing of helping women when they are down. And I have seen her go on several shows where some of the cast members are really trying to reach out to her and give her good advice. What more is there to do? We just continue to watch this? Do we boycott the shows? What could happen to make her get in a better place? Because it's like, I don't know if you ever seen the show Intervention. It seems like it's to that level. Like some professional needs to step in and help her. Because I have been to every two scrolls down, you see their picture. You see something else that they're doing. You see the sex tape. You see the new, the new shows, the old shows. It's just really sad. And I think Whack 100 is his producer. Manager.
He's kind of like a manager. So.
Yeah. He's his manager.
Yeah.
It just seems crazy. So what advice would you give to maybe a mother who is sitting back and you have a child out there that's going through this craziness? How do you reel them in? Yeah. Even an auntie, or because the mama clearly has some. She had brought the mom out here from Baltimore, because she's from Baltimore, and put her up in her apartment. And she said the mom didn't want to stay no more. She needed to get back to her drugs. So sometimes I think we need a surrogate, or like we always talk about, a sister. What advice would you give to a young lady in her situation?
I already said it. Like she needs therapy to start. because she needs to get down to the bottom of why she believes this behavior is acceptable, and why she believes the way he treats her is acceptable, and why does she need to have a drink or multiple drinks before she can even have a conversation? Because I watched an interview recently where that's what the man literally asked her. By the time he got to like his third question, she had already had like 4 drinks.
Yes.
You know,
I think we've seen the same one.
Like, so she needs to get down to the bottom of why she can't really, whatever it is in her reality, she's not ready to face. Yeah. If she's willing to do that, if she's willing to get therapy for that, then we could start and we can have a conversation on her, you know, working on her journey. Because, I mean, like I said, she's about to be a mom. And there's no turning back from that unless she wants the kid to get snatched. Right. So if that was my sister, I mean, first thing first, I'd be like, don't go on no more TV. Don't go on no more social media platforms. Say no. And I would try to figure out a way for her to get away from Blueface. Because that's kind of like her Achilles heel. Like, she keeps going back. No matter how disrespectful he says things on his platforms with her pictures and the cameras and, you know, kicking her out of interviews, and no matter how much, she keeps going back. So that would be my thing to start. And she gotta want it, because if she's like, shut the fuck up and leave me alone, this is I have to respect that and be like, all right, I mean, I can't make you do something as an adult that you don't want to do. So
I think the alcohol is her coping mechanism. If you really care about a person, I think that the show should be boycotted. I think the show should go off the air. I think that they should offer her something when you get better, when you come back from rehab, when we see some improvement, then we'll renegotiate your contract. But they're not going to do it because they actually don't give a damn. They don't. Know somebody doesn't give a damn when they have it airing in front of millions of people to see, and they're getting paid off of it. Yeah. As far as the sisterhood is concerned, like Nisha said, you can't do better until you want to do better.
That's it.
I know there have been multiple people that have tried to talk to her, and you know, she just her little puppy love. You know, she just want to love on him, and she just want him to love on her, and all times, all day, all night. She wants him to say everything that she wants to hear, and she's just gone.
I think she missed that in her childhood, because if you think about, if you the 11th of 12 kids, you already are being neglected in some way, only because the mom and the daddy have so much trauma, and I mean so much drama and chaos and craziness going on. Just the fact that she is tattooing him everywhere on her body. His whole face is on her neck. She's got his name here. I think she said it's like 8 tattoos that she has that's solely about him. And this is a young girl who clearly is dealing with some major abandonment issues. You know, she has nobody, and he's the first person probably to show her so much love. You know, even like when they'll be doing, they were, of all people who was interviewing was Mike Tyson, and they were just all, you know, and he was saying how I F good, I fuck good, and I do this and I do that, and she said, yeah, daddy, you do, and they whispering in each other's ear. It was just like, it was embarrassing to even watch. So
some people only survive being full of drama. You know,
they function in
it. They don't know calm, peace, happiness.
They never had it. They never had it. And that's the part where I think is so sad when you watch her, because you can tell that's why she just looks at him. Anything he do, she want to pop him. She want to sock him. She want to slap him. That's her only way of dealing with stuff is fighting. You know, like she tore up his sister. Did you see that fight?
I didn't see that fight. I didn't want to watch it.
It was horrible. And that's where I had to get to the point where I just couldn't watch it no more. It was just horrible to watch. And see these young girls out there that they start thinking that this is love. Because you're saying, Chrisean, it's toxic. It's toxic love. But what is the name of the show again? Crazy in Love. And we're making it like this is cool. Like this is all right. It's not good.
I worry because the last time when I saw Blueface literally having to punch her back, And I think TMZ was recording when it was outside, and because they had got kicked out of a bar or something, and she was drunk and he was drunk, and she was attacking him, and then he had to like hit her, and she got back up after his punch, and he knocked her, like he threw her down and was hitting her and all this. And I'm like, this is one of them going to harming each other permanently, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Without saying that,
Yes.
if something doesn't change, I don't know if in her background she saw her mom or other people in the house responding that way physically, you know, when things don't go their way. I don't know if, you know, he saw that on his end with his mom. I'm not sure. But when you respond to confrontation physically because you can't use, you know, your mouth, that's a problem. And I mean, like you pointed out earlier, her mom is an addict, right? So yeah, she probably does have abandonment issues. You know what I mean? Like she probably was in and out to go get her fix, and she had to take care of herself. Right. You know.
So, on one of the interviews, the interviewer was asking her. She said, "What do you remember most about your mom?" And she said, "I remember her braiding my hair." And right after she said braiding her hair, she just busted out in tears. And she said, "And walking me to school." So kids that are exposed to this kind of stuff, they crave that normalcy that they see. But when you can't get it, you're clearly going to go to what you only have seen and known. And in her case, it's been abuse. It's been physical, emotional abuse. It's been abandonment. The daddy was in jail for a long period of time. So she had nobody. They were homeless for like 8 years.
So she had to take care of herself.
Yes.
So this is her, if that's the case, then this is her bread and butter. Like this, Blueface is her lifeline.
Exactly.
As toxic and dysfunctional as it is, he's her lifeline. I think she feels like if she pulls away from him, even if it would be for the better of her, I think she feels like she won't make it because this is the only thing that has been, you know,
close to normal.
Yeah, for these last some, you know, few years or whatnot. Yeah. So that's kind of crazy. It's sad. Yeah.
Okay. So in closing, what would be your what would you want to end with? Mona, what would be the last thing you want to put out there about helping a young lady in a situation like this?
My final thought would be to all the couples that are going through domestic violence of any sort to understand that that's not the way. Love doesn't hurt. Love doesn't hit you. They seem to be in this continuous breakup to make up type situation, and that's not what love is. That's not a functioning relationship. If you find yourself imitating some of the things that they do on TV, no, that's not right, and you too should seek help. I think they need help. I think they need to be off the air, like Nisha said, off of social media, because he's tweeting every day. You know, they get at each other in person, on social media, you know. So, yeah. It's terrible. Get some help. That's my final thought.
Yeah. Mine would be mindful of who you're dating and be mindful of their background. I mean, this is that whole part of dating. Like, we've done shows on, you know, we did that show on Who Taught You How to Date and What Did You Learn, right? And the main focus that we spoke on about that was collecting data. And one way to collect data, I mean, is to ask questions, right? You need to, you know, ask about that background without it sounding like you investigating, but, you know, you need to ask, like, what was your upbringing like? You know, how were you raised? How do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with disagreements? How do you deal with, you know, not agreeing with another person's perspective? Because some people can't handle having a conversation. They can't handle that. They will literally fight. And these people, as we see, they like to fight in front of the camera. They like to fight behind the scenes. They like to, you know, brag about doing it. Like, I remember that clip where you see her picking the glass out of his hair because she hit him with a bottle. Like, that's not normal, and that's not okay. That's not healthy. Both of them need, like I said, need to be separated. Both of them need to go get some therapy. Both of them need to work through their trauma before they enter any kind of relationship, because they're not ready. I would say that for them, if that, as we speak on sisterhood, they need to go their separate ways for now while they work on themselves and heal and do the work to work on whatever it was that traumatized them. Mm-hmm. So because she can't focus on her reality, which is why you see her drinking and doing whatever drug of choice that she does, him too, and you need to watch that when you're out there trying to date or enter in this game, because things like that is something you don't want to be a part of, because it can get worse. One of them can take one of them out, and that's my biggest fear for them, because they're young, people are promoting it, they're being given shows, you know what I mean? They're being interviewed, and people are like profiting off of their trauma, and that's not okay, So I would say, if I was them, go get some help. Ladies, love is not supposed to hurt. Love is not supposed to be where someone literally goes on a live and clown you and talk down to you and say the most disparaging things about you for the world to see. Love is not supposed to be where you disagree with whatever it is he's doing, so you put your hands on him. Love is not, you're not supposed to be putting your hands on one another. And in this case, it's not even, I can't even say it's one-sided, because they're both physically attacking each other, verbally, physically, right? And that's not okay. Like, do better. And that would be my final thought.
And my final thoughts, and I'll keep it brief, but as being a survivor of domestic violence, and it's really, really hard to watch them in a situation like this where they're making light of it, because I've seen the outcome, how it can result in damn near death. And pay attention to the red flags. The people in your circle, people, we were raised in our culture where that's not your business. You don't say nothing. You don't do anything. Let them figure that out. That's how I grew up. You don't share those deep things. But one of the things I said, that when I survived the stuff that I went through, is that every opportunity that I had, and I had a platform to speak about domestic violence, that I was going to say something. And one of the things is to see Chrisean, and she's more the perpetrator than he is. You know what I mean? They are fighting one another. And that's how it was in both of my domestic violence relationships. We fought each other in the beginning. And all it does is progressively get worse. And you end up either killing them or they end up killing you. This is not nothing to play with, y'all. Ladies, pay attention to the red flags. I don't care how good the dick is. I don't care how fine he is. I don't care how many people tell you y'all a cute couple together. Y'all are so cute together. That shit don't mean nothing at the end of the day when you are fighting for your life. This is not nothing to play with. If you need resources, please reach out to me, either through my social media pages or any way that you can get in contact with me. This is a train wreck that's just waiting to happen. And if when she has this baby, she really needs to change her ways, or we are creating another generation of abuse. And it's not a good look. That's it. Thank you.
BGP, like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up on the video. Until the next episode, we are out.